Alright, this is the rant of coincidence that I referred to in my previous blog. Alright, so doing this whole job transition thing, going from my old employer, or from my current employer to my old employer, and the odd coincidences therein. What happened was, I don't like talking about where I work on the internet. I learned a while ago, through a friend's unfortunate incident, that you should never talk about where you work on the internet. So suffice it to say, I work for a company that provides services to larger organizations. So let's just, and I used to work for a larger organization. So let's just say that I used to work for McDonald's, and I now work for Cisco Foods, which supplies goods to McDonald's. All right, my nose is itchy. So 2 years ago, I used to work for McDonald's, and the division I worked for got transferred to another location, so I got laid off and went to work for Cisco. And Cisco was actually offering me a little more money, but times have been hard, and combined, with losing some clients and a wage freeze for the last 2 years, Cisco's not been doing all that well. McDonald's has gone through some changes. They might have been bought out by another organization, and a number of people who've been laid off from Cisco have gone to McDonald's, and a couple of people have even quit and gone to McDonald's. In particular, in my group, there were 3 people who shared my responsibility, and that was directly interfacing with our clients, and 2 of them quit, leaving me as the sole person with that level of responsibility, really, and the combined experience of 3 people who'd been there for over a year or so. So it was me and the boss who really knew how to run things. And there were some things that I did that my boss didn't know how to do, because that's why he has me. He doesn't need to know how to do these things. But a woman who I used to work with at McDonald's contacted me and said, your old boss at McDonald's, the one that really likes you and you really like as well, he's got a position and he wants to know if you'd like it. So I applied for the position, and within 24 hours got an interview. And the interview was half-hour long, of 5 minutes discussing the position and 25 minutes of me and my old bosses talking and hanging out. And he said, "You want the job? It's yours." I'm like, "All right." And they're giving me a 17% increase in salary compared to Cisco, where I currently work. So, I get a call from the offset recruiter, and she says, "Okay, congratulations. I heard the interview went well. Your start date is in 2 weeks." What? Yeah, 2 weeks is the training day. Okay. Now, I know 2 weeks notice is customary to provide an employer, but I was hoping in this case to provide a little more. So I prepped my resignation letter, and I'm not looking forward to it, because right after everyone else left, a client that we've been trying to get a hold of for a long time finally accepted our offer of services, and so business is now booming. We have potential clients coming in. That's going to save our department and whatnot, and I'm the key player, and I'm walking out, and there's no one to replace me. There is no one to replace me. Think about it. You'd have to hire somebody. You'd have to train them. First of all, you'd have to requisition the position to be out, then interview, and then hire. And that person, unless they have a job, has to give 2 weeks notice. So you're looking at least 3 to 4 weeks right there before they even walk in the door. And the person who has to train them is leaving in 2 weeks. So I put his nuts in a grinder. So fortunately that day he had a meeting with his boss and his boss's boss about staffing, and I handed him a letter of recommendation right there, because when I walked in and asked him how his Little League game was last night, and he said we lost. I said, "Well, because this makes this a lot harder." And showed him a letter of recommendation. He's like, "You're shitting me." I'm like, "Yeah." So he said, "Hold that thought." And he goes to his boss and his boss's boss, and they said they're going to have to try to fight this. And I told them I don't really see, honestly, how you can, seeing how you guys haven't had a wage increase in the last 2 years, and they're offering me a 17% increase in salary. So I do some more math over the weekend and realize in healthcare benefits I'd save even more than 17% increase in salary, because I'd get even extra money, considering other factors I'm not going to get into right now. So he's working with corporate to figure out how to save me. So right now, if you think about it cosmically speaking, there are stars aligning for me to stay at this job, because I am in a position of power, in the sense that I have a good deal of knowledge. I am indispensable. The company needs me right now because of all the influx of work. So less staff, limited knowledge, more work that needs to be given. I'm a key component. If I go, the whole block collapses. It's like a Jenga, and I'm the last little block in the Jenga puzzle, and they're about to pile some more stuff on top. And if I go, the whole thing collapses. So I got up by the nards. So, but of course, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket. That's not how I do. So I keep on proceeding with the onboarding process to go back to McDonald's. Now, McDonald's has been owned by a new company. So let's just put it that way. And the onboarding process is unlike any other company I've been with. Normally, you start orientation, and you give them your driver's license and your social, and then notarize it, so that, Homeland Security has proof that you are legally allowed to work in the United States of America. They send you off to a drug test, so you go pee in a cup. Some places might require fingerprints, so they, fingerprint you there, or whatnot. Not this place. No. They send you a packet via UPS with a I-9 form, instructions on how to get it notarized, blank fingerprint cards for you to supply your own fingerprints, which they will reimburse you for, and there's a place to go get drug tested. Okay, so I got to take care of all this myself. That's fine. So I figure during my lunch hour, I'm gonna run to get all three of these things taken care of, because our local mall has a police substation inside, which I can get fingerprints at. Behind there's a lab core, which provides drug testing. And in the parking lot is a bank that I'm a member of, and banks have notaries. It's a kind of important thing. So during my lunch hour, I drive down, and I gotta pee wickedly, because drug test. Gotta pee in a cup. Gotta make sure I can perform. And they're closed from 12 to 1. So, damn it. So I go to get the fingerprints done, and those work out just fine. And then I go to the bank to get notarized, and they say we can only notarize for customers, and I say that's okay, because I'm a customer. And they say, but a notary's on vacation. So, damn. So I'm going back to work, and now my hour's almost up. And I realize that there is a lab court by my office, because that's where I went to go pee in a cup right before when I got hired there. So I go to that lab court facility, and I walk up to the door, and it says we have relocated to behind the mall. See, a place that was closed from 12 to 1. So I'm like, oh. Alright. So, end of the day, after work, I go to the bank instead of going to the gym, and I get it notarized. Alright, so two of the three things done. Next day, take my lunch a little early. Actually a little late, so I can get there when they get back from lunch, and I go pee in my cup. Alright, so I got pee in a cup, got fingerprints, got notarized. I need to mail this off. So that day I go to have dinner with my wife, because she is working a 12-hour shift, end of the month. She has to do this thing. It's for where she works. And while I'm waiting for her, I put all three things in the UPS envelope, and I peel off the tape, and I see a piece of paper on the side, and I look at it, and it says all the things I need to include, and two of those things are a photocopy of my driver's license and social. Shit! I didn't make copies of those. So I put the little adhesive tape thing back on there, and I go have dinner with the wife. And then I run to UPS, because I know UPS has a photocopier. I mean, that's what they do. They do copies and shit. And they're closed. They closed 5 minutes before I got there. So I then go to the post office, and the post office has coin photocopier, and of course it's after hours, so they're off. There's no one there. It's one of those 24-hour post office situations, and I only have a 10 spot. So